Ketechuan before and after called SRIVIJAYA, which has a sacred area called the Holy City. In the Holy City there is a central area surrounded by embankments or earthen fort around it. The height of the embankment or ancient fort is 3 meters high. At several points there is a door to enter according to its function. Inside the embankment area there is a Puja center, which is now called the Muaratakas temple complex. The holy city in which there is a center of puja in the past was called Mongtakui, after Islam entered the Ketechuan. Namely the 7th century changed the mention to Muotakui, and changed to Muaratakas, since the colonizers entered and destroyed the customary order as well as its naming. Until now, that actually the name, Takas, is the name of a small river around the site, there is no site here. The early dynastic period of Egypt around 3100 BC, starting with the first pharaoh, Narmer for some Egyptologists, Horhaha for others, also known as Menes. Pharaoh comes from the Hebrew word paro, originally derived from the Egyptian which means big house. This is the term for the royal palace, changing the meaning of being a palace dweller, namely the king, the elder of the ancient Egyptian society with the title pharaoh. Pharaoh was appointed king who at that time was the leader of the state and religious leader. The earliest recorded ancient Egyptian expedition to the land of Punt was carried out by Pharaoh Sahur, of the 5th dynasty of the 25th century BC, returned with a cargo of Punt. The precious metal gold from the land of Punt is recorded to have existed in Egypt since the time of Pharaoh Khufu of the 4th dynasty. Furthermore, there were more expeditions to the land of Punt in the 6th, 11th, 12th and 18th dynasties of Egypt. In the 12th dynasty, trade with Punt is recorded in popular literature in the tale of the shipwrecked sailor. During the reign of Mauchotep III, 11th dynasty, 2000 BC, an officer named Hanu arranged one or more voyages to Punt. 12th dynasty pharaonic trade missions Seneret I, Amenemhat II, and Amenemhat IV also managed to navigate their way to and from the land Punt. The land of Punt, it is said to be a land of many aristocrats, friendly people, fertile land for growing various trees on the island. They describe it as the land of the gods. A region far east towards the rising sun, blessed with products for religious purposes, a place where sailors and traders return to their land with gold, ivory, ebony, incense, aromatic resins, animal skins, live animals, eye makeup, cosmetics, fragrant wood, and cinnamon. A report of the voyage of the 5 ships depicted on a relief at the shrine of Hatshepsut in Deir el-Bahri relief text of the Temple of Hatshepsut, shows that his envoy, Chancellor Nasi, who is said to be the head of the expedition, had traveled to Punt, and received a gift from the native. In the relief, the land of Punt is told at that time by King Parahuan, Ratu Ati. The well-illustrated Hatshepsut expedition took place in the 9th year of the reign of a female pharaoh with the blessing of the god Amun. Said Amin, the second ruler of the throne, come peacefully my daughter, who is graceful, that is in my heart, King Motkar, Hatshepsut. I will give you Punt, everyone. I will lead your army by land and water, on the mysterious beach, who joined the port of incense. They will take as much incense as they like. They will load the ship to their satisfaction with the green incense tree and all the good things of the land. After the end of the New Kingdom period, the land of Punt became the land of myths and legends that are not real and amazing. But the Egyptians believed that their ancestors came from the land of Punt. Where is this land really? Island or land that produces gold as well as ivory, ebony, incense, aromatic resin, animal skins, live animals, eye makeup, fragrant wood, and cinnamon. Is the archipelago of Svarnadvipa. Svarna is gold, Dvipa means island, which is deep, the Bible says, Ophir. Is now named Mount Talamau. Amun, in Egyptian Yamanu, is also pronounced Amun, Amoun, Amen, and is sometimes called Iman. In Greek Ammon, Ammon, and Hammon, Hammon are the names of gods in Egyptian mythology that emerged gradually from abstract concepts to become the patron deities of Thebes, gods important in ancient Egypt. Amun is often depicted wearing a high feather crown, king of the gods. The name, Thebai, is a Greek translation. The Egyptian, Opet, is depicted in Temple of Karnak, from the Coptic language Ta-Pe, Ta-Opet being Thebai. Among the 3 main gods of Thebes, Amun, Mut, and Khonsu, Thebes is known in the language Egypt at the end of the New Kingdom as Nu Imn, city of Amun. This name is used in the Hebrew Bible and the Old Testament in the Bible as No Ammon, Nahum 3:8, possibly the same as No, Ezekiel 30, 14-16, Jeremiah 46:25. Kadachuan, Srivijaya, before and after 4058 BC had a holy city as well as a center of pre-Islamic, Dharmic original, teaching called, Mongtakui, after, Muotakui, then became confused after the colonizers until now it became, Muaratakas, this is where Chinese pilgrims, learned. They copied the book and brought, Dharmic, to their country, not bringing, Buddhism, and then spread it to the archipelago. Chinese students pilgrims who come to the archipelago. Atisa Dipamkara Shranyana, 1013 AD, 12 years of study at the Silver Umbrella Palace located on a hill west of the center of the Puja. 1 kilometer from the area of the world's oldest university branching out in Nalanda, India. When I sing 671-695, add here only the foundation remains. Do not be reversed. Our ancestors who colored the land of India and Tibet were pioneered by Atisa Dipamkara Shranyana. He studied, original Dharmic, in the archipelago. Studied with Guru Suvarnadvipa Dharmakirtik returned to his country when Chola attacked the land of the unity, developing, Dharmic original, becomes, Tantrayana, as well as, Vajrayana, in Tibet. Atisa Dipamkara Shranyana, from Tibet, went to the previous Svarnadvipa Indonesia to learn the main basic philosophy of our ancestors, namely, Dharmic original. This is the, Dharma, Dhamma, ancestral philosophy of the archipelago, which colored Tibet. The literary text, Tantra, originates from the word, tan, means, describing the supernatural power of gods, or it can be interpreted as the essence, or origin of the teachings, this teaching which later developed in India. When there was a war between the people Khan Arya against the Dravidas of the indigenous people of India, Sadashiva was born, meaning, he who is always absorbed in consciousness. Later known as Shiva, the greatest contribution of the Aryans to civilization was the introduction of the concept of Dharma. Quote, comma. This is the concept of the ancestral teachings of the archipelago, and a collection of question and answer books about secret science is known as Tantra Shastra. The principles of Tantra are found in Nigama, while the practices are in the book Religion. There are 64 books containing Tantrayana. Maha Nirvana Tantra, Kalarnawa Tantra, Bidana Tantra, Yoganurdaya Tantra. Ancient books. It is lost and partly incomprehensible because it is written in secret writings to keep Tantra confidential to those who are common. Panka Ma 5M, Madhya, Mamsa, Matsya, Mudra, and Maithuna. The teaching is more directed towards the concept of Karma Marga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Marga, the practice of Tantrayana, namely, Maka, Kama, and Pansaka, or known as Panka Ma, or Malama, were often misinterpreted as Malimo. The bad one. 1. Mata, Madhya, middle, which means more to the middle way, not too much or less, not too hard or weak, which is then interpreted to be drunk or unconscious. 2. Mamsa, mam equals me, sa equals pertiwi, land, which means more to extinguish lust and desire, shutting down all senses, which is then interpreted as killing animals, eating meat and drinking blood. 3. Matsya, comfortable, flexible, flowing, means more flexibility in movement, feeling empathy and sympathy, not being stiff, in samadhi, yoga, called pranayama, which aims to calm the mind and easily meditate, which is then interpreted as eating mackerel, poisonous. 4. Mudra, Bayu, determination, soul, is a deep soul, full of determination, the implementation of actions and proofs, which is then interpreted as doing hand movements and dancing until tired. 5. Maithuna, unity, destroy, which is to unite the mind to the cosmic, destroy the mind, sink into nothingness, achieve freedom of mind, which is then interpreted as mass copulation. Furthermore, Tantrayana influences the teachings of Buddhism, the Mahayana school of thought, which focuses on helping each other in achieving spiritual liberation. Namely, nirvana, in Dharmic original, is called Svarga. Tantrayana, which dissolves in Mahayana, is called Vajrayana Tantra, or Mahayana Tantra. Means that the teachings of Tantra originated from the archipelago, not India, Tibet. Secret science, known as Tantrayana, is what Aditya Warman learned to fight against the invaders who had wanted to seize the holy city since the 9th century AD, with its center of worship, Mongtakui, in the era after Srivijaya, could only be controlled by the Chola king. Mandala, together with the return of the student from Tibet, Atisha Dipamkara Surjanana, To his country brought, Tantra, to become Tantrayana, Vajrayana of the Mahayana school of Buddhism. Listen to this. Atisa Dipamkara Shranyana was born into royalty. His father was a king known as Kalyana Shri and his mother was Shri Prabhavati. He traveled to the archipelago Svarnadvipa, stayed for 12 years here, then returned to India, died in Naitang, Tibet. Yeshao, the master teacher from western Tibet, sent Atisa Dipamkara Shranyana to Svarnadvipa to study and translate several Sanskrit texts. Atisa was a key figure in the establishment of the Tibetan Mahayana. He revived Vajrayana in Tibet. Atisa was ordained into the Mahasamgika lineage at the age of 28 by Abbas Silaraksita. He has studied almost all Buddhist and non-Buddhist scholarship in his time, including Vedic scholarship on the teachings of Vishnu, Shiva. Atisa Dipamkara Shranyan meeting with Guru Suvarnadvipa Dharmakirti, in the past Indonesian Sumatra. Guest delegates face and say. Please listen to us. O noble teacher. Today has come. Dipamkara Shri Nyana with 102 followers sailing across the vast ocean for 14 months. Now he wants to meet Guru. Guru Suvarnadvipa Dharmakirti replied. How glorious, the ruler of the earth has come. His noble step, the king's son has come. How glorious, sir, all have come. How glorious, noble heroes have come. How glorious, he has arrived with his followers. How glorious, to have overcome all obstacles. How glorious, he has come with a sincere heart. Oh, disciples, put in your robes and prepare greetings to your majesty. From a distance, Atisa Dipamkara Shranyana's group was very impressed. Not long after, 535 people brought 3 robes with jugs of holy water, accompanied by 62 novices led by Guru Dharmakirti Suvarnadvipa himself, their party of whom 597 people had ordained. Atisa Dipamkara Shranyana and his entourage spontaneously performed a full namaskara, welcoming Guru Dharmakirti Suvarnadvipa and vice versa. The group of Guru Dharmakirti Suvarnadvipa also performed namaskara. Atisa Dipamkara Shranyana offered many jewels and gold. His followers also offered 1 gold coin for each of his students. Guru Dharmakirti Suvarnadvipa. Guru Dharmakirti Suvarnadvipa offered Budarapang to Dipamkara and he stayed at the Silver Umbrella Palace in Suvarnadvipa for 12 years. While here he slept on the floor, at the foot of his master's bed as a sign of respect for the pupil to the teacher. Atisa Dipamkara Shranyana he had studied 157 teacher, but every time he heard the name Guru Dharmakirti Suvarnadvipa, tears flowed right away. Pay attention to. This is the location that Fahin visited in 399 to 414 AD in Hyan Sang 602-664 ad. Pay attention to the word in the writing of the note that means. The Tathagata left its shadow here. It is a tradition where there is no visible shadow. The location that Hyan Sang meant was the equinox only at the Muarataka site. This nearby 200-foot-high stupa is a sign where the Tathagata walks to and fro. Is the Muaratakas site where the Brahmins perform the ritual, Pradaksina Prasawiya, movements around the site. The Muaratakas sites in the former, holy city, area of Svarnadvipa, Sumatra, Indonesia are place of science education, graduation sites for scholars who have finished studying, Dhamma. Place of coronation of kings, Vanua, Vatsal Nusantara. 2 layers of outer fence, is the main complex where the teachers, Shanga Kirti, RSHI teachers and other parts live. Northeast main gate complex. East, 400 steps there is a building made of mantra training wood. West where to learn there is, Kolam Sakti, Tobek Sati. Southeast, 2nd level learning place. Southwest 3rd level student residence. Northwest of the hermit, Tapo Kanyago place. North the complex outside the embankment across the Paudaman River cemetery is divided into 1. What is not burned by fire. 2. The fire does not burn on the body. 3. The residence of the dignitaries in 8 corners of the coordinates of the holy city, a radius of 4 square kilometers which is in the 9-layer fence of the embankment fortress. These are the names of Indonesian male figures who were recorded when the emergence of several new views on Dharmak outside the archipelago. Sanjaya, Saraputra, Dharmadasa, Dharmapala, Suvarnaksa, Madgalyayana, Svarnadva Dharmakirti, Dapunta Hyang, Dharmapala 670 to 580 BC from Svarnadvipa student of Dharmadasa. Dharmapala is teacher Suvarnadvipa Dharmakirti 610520 BC. Dharmakirti is the nephew of Kumarila Bhatta I, 618–540 BC. Sangharama Learning Center, Dharma, in Svarnadvipa, named Dharma Phala, King Pala lineage Sayalendra Balaputradua Svarnadvipa, establishing branch in Bihar, India, Nalanda, 427 AD. Sangharama Maha Tupa in Javadvipa Vana Chaka Phala, now published as Borobudur. The area of Muarataka's site, here once stood a learning center for the principal principles of Dharmic original, Dharma Dhamma, which is depicted in Borobudur and perfectly preserved in Bali. Also, all sites are not based on one of the two Indian religions but underlie their growth. 3 Religion in Indian land is also Tibet. Then it is proven true that what Xuanzang, Haiyan Sang 602-664 ad saw and recorded also it Shing 689–695 who lived for 5 years. Also Atisa de Pamkara Shranyana lived and studied for 12 years here Svarnadvipa at the center original, Dharmic, learning.